In a world obsessed with speed, shortcuts, and instant results, one book quietly argues that true effectiveness has almost nothing to do with hacks or productivity tricks. It claims instead that the way you think is more important than what you do. That claim, when taken seriously, changes how you see success, leadership, work, and even yourself. Published in 1989, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People was written by Stephen R. Covey, an American educator and organizational consultant who believed modern society had lost something essential. Covey observed that earlier generations focused on character, values, and long-term responsibility, while modern culture increasingly chased techniques, image, and quick wins. His book was a deliberate return to deeper principles, rooted not in trends but in what he called timeless laws of human behavior. At its core, the book argues that effectiveness begins internally, long before it shows up in results. Covey introduces the idea of paradigms, the mental maps through which we interpret reality. We do not see the world as it is, he suggests, but as we are. This is not a motivational slogan, it is a warning. If your internal framework is flawed, no external strategy will save you. Change your methods without changing your paradigm, and you will eventually hit the same limits again. The first major shift Covey demands is moving from reactivity to responsibility. Most people, he argues, live in constant reaction to circumstances, emotions, and other people. They blame conditions, upbringing, or bad luck. Effectiveness begins the moment a person realizes that between stimulus and response there is a space, and in that space lies the power to choose. This idea reframes freedom itself. You may not control events, but you always control how you respond, and over time, those responses shape your entire life. From there, Covey pushes the reader toward intentional direction. If you do not consciously decide what matters most, you will unconsciously let other people and systems decide for you. He challenges the listener to imagine the end of their life and work backward, asking what kind of character, relationships, and contribution they want to leave behind. This is not morbid reflection, it is strategic clarity. Without a clear internal compass, efficiency becomes dangerous, because you may simply get faster moving in the wrong direction. Once direction is clear, Covey turns to the problem of daily action. He makes a sharp distinction between urgency and importance, arguing that modern life trains us to respond to what is loud rather than what is meaningful. The most impactful activities, he claims, are often quiet, proactive, and easy to postpone. Effectiveness, then, is not about cramming more into each day, but about protecting what truly matters from being crowded out. The book then shifts from the individual to relationships, where Covey introduces a powerful metaphor: emotional bank accounts. Every interaction is a deposit or a withdrawal of trust. Trust, once damaged, does not disappear instantly, but it erodes quietly until cooperation collapses. Highly effective people understand that long-term success depends on credibility, consistency, and genuine respect. They do not seek victory over others, but solutions that allow everyone involved to win. This leads to one of the book's most demanding ideas: the discipline of understanding before being understood. Most people listen, Covey argues, not to comprehend but to reply. True influence, however, comes from deep empathetic listening, where the goal is not agreement, but clarity. Paradoxically, the moment people feel truly understood is often the moment they become open to change. The final habit ties everything together through renewal. Covey insists that effectiveness is not a static achievement, but a continual process of maintaining physical energy, mental clarity, emotional balance, and purpose. Neglect these foundations, and even the strongest systems eventually decay. Renewal is not indulgence. It is maintenance for a life meant to last. What makes The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People endure decades after its release is that it does not flatter the reader. It does not promise speed. It does not offer shortcuts. Instead, it asks a harder question. Are you willing to change the way you see the world in order to change the results you get from it? If this perspective challenged you, unsettled you, or clarified something you have struggled to articulate, take a moment to support the channel by liking the video and subscribing. And if you want to go deeper into ideas that reshape how we think, work, and live, Continue with the next video in this series.